Is there a conspiracy going on in Hollywood? And if so, what is it? Our story is going to start out with a very disturbing person named Keith Raniere. He formed a company or an organization called NXIVM, NXIVM, and it targeted actresses, particularly in the movie Smallville. We start our story out with Kristen Creek, or Crook. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, and it's not important. She was a victim of this cult. What's disturbing is that when Raniere founded this, it was a pyramid scheme. He was fined $40,000 in 1996, and he was permanently banned from promoting, offering, or granting participation in this scheme. 1998, Keith Raniere and Nancy Saltzman founded NXIVM, NXIVM, a personal development company. Oh, how nice. Offering executive success programs and a range of techniques aimed at self-improvement. He was going to bring more joy to their lives. This is Nancy Saltzman, all right? Way to go, Nancy. So, it had a trade secret, non-disclosure agreements, and a certain amount of secrecy around it. Actress Crook became involved in 2006. Saltzman and her daughter Lauren went to Vancouver, British Columbia to recruit Kirk's Smallville co-star Allison Mack. Allison was also caught up in this. In 2008, Bronford, by the way, in 2018 or 19, there were arrests made. Nancy Saltzman, her daughter Lauren Saltzman, Claire Brawford, and Kathy Russell, the bookkeeper. And then finally, July 19th of 2019, founder Keith Raniere was convicted of sex trafficking and racketeering. So not only was it described as a pyramid scheme, but also a sex trafficking operation and a sex cult. Now, here is where Kristen Keefe comes into play. She had a long-term relationship with him and even bore one of his children. When she broke it off, she claimed that Raniere is a dangerous man. And then we also have Tony Natali, who actually had a relationship with him. And when she found out that he was became controlling, and he also it was like this cult, and you had to vow to be a slave, and they said, oh, that's just a metaphor, you're just a slave. But they branded the women, and they were it was weird. And she indicates that he was very charismatic and that this is a type of hypnotic induction. And like the people lost control of their minds. It was one of the largest brainwashing schemes, which is what cults do. They brainwash. And so she was also an actress, and she said they had a special handshake and they bowed and they had to call Keith Raniere Vanguard. I mean, that was like his professional name. So we also have, we can thank Epstein. Now here's Jeffrey Epstein was being charged on sex trafficking when, of course, he went to prison and had help in his assisted suicide. Here he is, Epstein, with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the woman who went out and recruited people, recruited women to be in this sex ring. There's also a tie of Prince William, and the number one person fighting this is Ashton Kutcher, who is Real Men Don't Buy Girls. And a couple of years ago, I think it was published that Ashton had saved over 6,000 babies and young girls from sex trafficking. I mean, this guy is the rock star for the movement. So Hollywood, your conspiracy, Hollywood, is dangerous. By the way, this Smallville movie where these two actresses Kristen Kruk and Allison Mack were in was about Superman. A young Kent Clark struggles to find his place in the world as he learns to harness his alien, yes, alien powers for good and deals with the troubles of a teenage life. So, folks, if you see human trafficking going on, there is a telephone number, and I do like the number because 8s are the most powerful number in numerology, and it starts with 888 and ends with 888. If you see human trafficking going on, we're going to all have to be aware of this. So back to the Hollywood conspiracy. It looks like this Keith Raniere played a big part in it, and I have to get some pretty dark cards in order to do a read on something like this. So what do we have to know about the let's just ask first, what do we have to know about who would want to even lead a cult or a sexual human? What kind of person would lead? Would we want to even be the leader of a sexual or human trafficking? Now, it doesn't have to be sexual. I have a card wanting to calling the storm. Look at that. So they calling the storm. So it has to do with control. It has to do with control. That's very interesting. And we kind of knew that. These people want to have control. And let me put this card over here. And, Keith had an IQ of 240. He was gifted. He was reading by the age of 2. By 13, he could play the piano. It's very, very strange that he decided as a gifted person to use his energy for a sex trafficking thing. Now, it can be, human trafficking can be for labor, forced labor also. What else do we have to know about cult leaders? What else do we have to know about cult leaders? Oh my God, they have an artificial heart. They're not even real. They have an artificial heart, so they don't care about people. But people think they care about them. They suck in through brainwashing. Wow, that's interesting. And I want to know, what do we have to know about the Hollywood conspiracy or the cult of Hollywood? What do we have to know about this? This is Haunted House Tarot, by the way. Haunted House Tarot, what do we have to know about it? And that other deck was, oh my goodness. So this is definitely targeted at women, mostly women. See the offer coming in, or the hand? See that creepy hand coming in and offering a drink to her? This is a poisonous operation for women. A poisonous operation for women. Oh my God. This is horrible. They're trapped. They probably can be locked in their rooms, and they're mentally tormented. This is the 9 of Swords. They're mentally tormented. So that would make sense with the brainwashing. It's a cult. It's culty. Look at that. This is the moon. See the moon? So they're taught to obey, and they just get sucked in with deception. It's a huge deception ring. This is really going to be disturbing going forward. This Keith Raniere put a brand on these women. For 30 minutes, people held them down while they scraped a hot metal laser over their skin. And they created this really creepy symbol. And it was a brand. And it reminds me of a sigil. Whoops, sorry, I went too far on that. It's very weird, the brand that they put on them. And allegedly, Keith said that this was some kind of a Latin symbol. So I want to ask the cards about this brand. What is this brand about? I'm actually going to use the dark mirror again. What is this brand about? So I'm going to use this and another card. I'm going to have a variety of cards here. What is this brand? What is this about? Parasite. Oh my God, that's really weird, because they have their own language in this cult, and parasite is one of the words. A lot of these cults, they get you in, they brainwash you, they make you think that you don't have to conform to society, and a lot of people are rebels against society. But you can even see the fire coming in. I mean, it's like this bright orange fire coming in and branding that person. And it's the 19. This is interesting, that this is card 19. And on June 19th of 2019, Keith Raniere was arrested and convicted. This is very weird. And then we've got the moon on either side. So it's the brand is stripping the person of their identity. They no longer have their identity anymore. And I don't want that symbol up because this is evil. So we'll destroy it. Actually, let's destroy it by tearing it. We're going to tear it up. So we've destroyed the symbol. All right. So now what we want to do is ask, what do we have to know about the cults? What do we have to know about the cults? And I think that these cults go way beyond Hollywood. What do we have to know about these cults? All right. And I do want to tell you, I do want to share with you information about what cults are, you know, how to identify if you are in a cult, or that you think that you could be in a cult. It's opposed critical thinking. In other words, they change the way you think. So they have a leader, right? They isolate you, they penalize you if you want to leave, they emphasize special doctrines outside scriptures. They seek inappropriate loyalty to the leaders. They dishonor the family unit. They cross any biblical boundaries of behavior, like sexual. They can have a sexual undertone. Most of them do. Separation from the church, separation from the community. The leaders are very charismatic. Please, here's what the cards are indicating, what you need to know about this. Follow your own path. Follow your own path. You don't have to have a guru or join a group. I would be very weary of joining groups. I mean, groups that have belief systems and leaders, things like that, where they demand loyalty and things like that. It's going to be very challenging if you get into the cult to get out. So it's going to be very challenging to get out of the cult if you get in to the cult. You have to act quickly. That's the wands. We've got a couple of wands here. So they're really targeting like spiritual people. They have very specific types of people that the cult wants to target, right? Wow. And they have to have very charismatic leaders. Once again, we've got all the wands here. A lot of fire energy. They get people fired up and loyal. Keep people loyal. So that is very interesting. I'm going to also pull from the Haunted House Tarot. What do we have to know about these Hollywood cults? Is most of Hollywood under this cult? How much of Hollywood is being affected by this cult? How much of Hollywood? Oh dear. Oh my gosh. They trap the actresses. Ugh. Is that horns? They trap the actresses and actors. They trap them. This is sick. This is the devil card in the haunted house. It's satanic. It's the devil card. Oh my God. This is tragic that this has taken over Hollywood. Do you guys think that the movies could be like satanic? I mean, I'm not a movie watcher and I don't watch a whole lot of TV. What do you think, those of you who watch movies? I would be interested to see if the cults come through the movies, if there's any culty stuff in the movies. Oh my gosh. They know their targets. Look at this. Yeah, they know. They know who their targets are. And they target groups. And then they try to get their own cult members to go out, and they're trapping women. This is the human trafficking. You're trapped. You get in. I mean, they're part of a big ring. This is big. This is trapping humans. This is the human trafficking card. Trapping the people. Wow. This is something that we all are going to have to be aware of. We're all going to have to be aware of this. Look at this. She's like, knowledge is power. She's got the scroll, the script. Knowledge is power. We're going to have to wake up. We are going to have to wake up, realize how these cults operate, and where. I mean, are they in our political system? Are they all over Hollywood? Is it just Hollywood? I don't think so. I mean, you had Prince Andrew coming out of Jeff Epstein's house on video. And you've got our politicians being with Epstein, the human trafficking. How big is this in our world? Let's go to our serious cards over here. How big does this human trafficking ring go? How expansive is it? How expansive is the human trafficking ring? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, you guys, that's a major arcana card. And it's the devil. And this is big. This is bigger than whatever you imagine it to be. It's bigger than whatever you can imagine it to be. This is big. This is serious. This is a very serious problem. All right. So thank you to the cards for exposing that. Can we do anything? Can we do anything to break this up? Is there still hope that we can break up this horrible, horrible trafficking thing? Is there anything we can do? Look at this. Shine a light on it. This is the Hermit. Let's put him over the devil card. Shine a light on it. Expose it. We've got to shine a light from the very top. And we've got to have more Ashton Kutchers. We've got to have more people that are high up, that have an influence, that are willing to fight this. So that's a good card. And right now, people are fearful. Like this is the card about fearful, and they don't want to have anything to do with it. Like if people see it, they're like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. How big are they? Are they going to come after me? Is this like, how big is this? So it's creating an imbalance in our world right now. That's the Two of Pentacles. It's creating an imbalance. But we have to protect our children. This is affecting our children. They're targeting the children. So I'm going to actually grab a spirit deck and say, what's at the core? What is the core thing that we have to know about this corruption, this conspiracy? What's the core information that we need to know about it? This is going to be interesting. They're always watching. So they're always watching. This is the Queen of Pentacles, so it's an attack against women. They want to take away women's identity. Do you see how she's got her eyes closed? She doesn't even know who she is. And they're watching and they're controlling. And look at the satanic pentacle above that horned being. This is definitely satanical. There's satanistic rituals. This is really creepy. This is way creepy. Didn't think that it was going to get quite this creepy. So will we succeed? Which deck do I want to pull now? I'm going to grab this one. Are we going to succeed at destroying or breaking up or banishing? Are we going to succeed at banishing this human trafficking worldwide ring? Are we going to succeed at it? I'm so nervous about pulling this card. And once again, we got the Queen of Swords. This is the women saying, no, you're not going to get my mind. She's the Queen of Swords. And this is mind control. And the Queen of Swords is like, no, you're not getting my mind. And look at the bull with the horns. And now the bull is bowing to her. Not the other way around like the other card. She's like stabbing her sword in the ground. You will not. You can see the defiance in her face. You will not be controlling my mind. So you guys, find out how brainwashing works. And if you want me to do a video on that, I think we should dive into that, because knowledge is power. How do you get brainwashed? And how do you get unbrainwashed? Because this is important. This is getting your mind back. That's the Queen of Swords, not being brainwashed. Who's brainwashing? How do you brainwash? Look at that. Oh, look at that. The sun in the background. We can beat this, you guys. By the way, did you notice the number on this card? It's number 19. You notice about 19? In April of 2019, 5 people were charged with federal crimes for Keith Raniere's group. And Keith Raniere was convicted of sex trafficking on June 19th. And look at the baby there. And look at the woman. And this is the son. And this is the 19. And we're gonna beat this. We're going to beat this and protect the babies and protect the children. We can do this, but it's going to take the Queen of Swords. It's going to take waking up. Waking up. You guys, I know we can do this. This Hollywood, this cult that's taken over Hollywood, this conspiracy is not a conspiracy. When you've got people arrested and pleading guilty, it is no longer a conspiracy. It's now a cult. So you have to find out, are you in a cult? Does the leader demand anything, demand anything? Get out. Get your own thinking back. If anyone demands that you think of a certain way or you have to believe in a certain thing, just get your mind back. Be aware of cults, because we're going to beat this. We can beat this. This is the Sun card. This is a good place for us to end. Is just knowledge is power, you guys. And this is going on. Let's be aware of it, and let's get our power back. This is not, we need to protect our children, our babies. We need to protect our minds against brainwashing. Thank you for listening to this and being part of my channel.